Find a good
Yep.
find a good creator. Let them make you emotes. I mean,
I gotta get some better emotes. Or you don't even have to find a good creator. Go to own3d.tv. The description is down below. You're able to create your own emotes on there. Plug the fucking sponsors, Greg. What are we doing, man?
I love it. Yeah, do that.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Just Do It podcast with yours truly. I didn't do it 97. Thanks for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. If you missed episode 1, go back and check it out. It's on the YouTube. Before we get started, I do want to let you guys know that this podcast is sponsored by own3d.tv. Own3d.tv is a wonderful, wonderful website. An organization that provides world-class stream designs and overlays, alerts, emotes, and just so much more that can help provide an incredible experience for not only yourself as a content creator, but then also for your viewers and your fans. Whether you're just starting out and you just need the basics, or you want something that's more of a professional type look, Own3D, they offer hundreds of options, covering a variety of styles and aesthetics that, you're definitely bound to find something that suits your brand and suits your style, and whatever it is that you're looking for. And when it comes to production, so many live streamers, they rely on how their stream looks with their overlays and things like that. And not only myself, I absolutely use Own3D products because, again, they are absolutely awesome. But then our guest today, who is making a ton of noise as I'm reading the sponsored portion of things, also uses Own3D products. So be sure to check them out. The link down below helps support the channel. Please and thank you. So without further ado, my guest today, dear friend of mine that I've known for half a decade now already. Yeah, it's crazy to think that. He is someone who has actually been streaming for less time than I have and is honestly more successful. Somebody who has almost 500 followers on Twitch, has almost 100 followers on TikTok, has over 100 followers on Twitter. But enough of his resume padding because I don't really like him that much. My man, GoodGuyGK, buddy, Greg.
Yeah. Hello.
How we doing, man? How we doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. Happy to have you here. Thanks for taking some time out of your night to join me.
Hey, no problem. Quite the
hype up. I try. So again, man, happy to have you on here. And again, thank you for taking the time. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So so tell for those who may not know who you are. I mean, tell us a little bit about you. Like tell us who you are, what got you into streaming, things of that nature.
Oh, well, like you said, my name is GoodGuyGK. I guess I could say I was an Among Us streamer, turned variety streamer. Really, the reason I got into streaming was just I really wanted to get into the field. I started watching streamers maybe 6 months before I started streaming, and I thought it was so cool, when the chat was booming and all that. So I finally got a PC and just started streaming.
Yeah.
First few months were kind of tough, especially right after became affiliate because my living arrangement was really rough. Around March, when I got my new place, things really started to take off for me, and it's been a lot of fun. I started playing games I'm more comfortable with instead of playing the games that I thought I was supposed to be playing. That's made a big difference.
Sure. No, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I definitely don't disagree with you there. I think there's a fine line when it comes to that, to where part of it is you playing what's popular, but then also playing what you're going to have fun with. You know what I mean? If you're someone who, Warzone is one of the most viewed games on Twitch on a regular basis. And, if you're someone who doesn't enjoy that style of game, it's tough for you to get behind it and to entertain your viewers at that point. Because again, you yourself aren't having a good time, so obviously your viewers aren't going to have a good time. So it's a valid point. Definitely a valid point. So I mean, tell me a little bit, man. Especially as someone who's also a small streamer, I can kind of relate. But and while you have actually had some success already as a small streamer, tell me, man, like what is it like being a small streamer? Like you already kind of alluded to it by saying like, early on it was definitely tough. Um, but like once you hit that affiliate level, like you kind of started to grow and continue that grind. So like, tell me a little bit, like what's it like being somebody who's hungry and trying to grow?
It is so fun to do. I never have a bad time streaming. Um, Once my chat started like flowing more too, that was when it became like even like more fun.
Yeah.
The funner, yeah. Like that's when I'm at my best. Like I love when the chat is just really there. That's for me like why I kind of went off of multiplayer games a little bit because I realized when I was playing multiplayer games I wasn't reacting to chat as much. I started playing Kingdom Hearts, and that's what really made me realize that I could listen to chat and talk to chat. And I kind of just went from there to playing solo player games for a while. For a
Yeah.
while, that's really helped.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I think like I not to cut you off,
Yeah,
but like I remember like watching your Among Us stuff and even obviously playing Among Us with you a little bit, and like it was entertaining, man. Like just like the vibe that you had, not only with chat, but then like also with the people you were playing with. It was really cool to see that. And I feel like anybody that you watch like you mentioned how like watching some other streamers is what got you into streaming, like, and I feel like that's the case for a lot of people nowadays. Like when I watch people like Tim the Tatman, for example, Dr. Disrespect, like I watch them, and when they're playing, like whether they're playing together, they're playing with other people, like it with the banter, the back and forth conversations with them, like it's always what makes it so much more fun. And then when they get chat involved, it makes it even more incredible, like you said,
oh, yeah,
man.
absolutely.
And it's yeah, it's just so cool to see that. So I definitely get it. I definitely get it.
Yes.
So I mean, you kind of somewhat alluded to it. So like you started interacting with chat a little bit more, and I think that plays a big factor into trying to help grow your stream, especially like early on.
Absolutely.
Um, and I think that's kind of what gets you from going from what was your average viewership like when you first started?
I had to fight for three.
Right? Same, literally same, all the time. And half the time though, like one viewer counted as like my stream manager being up on my
Yeah,
PC. You know what I
same
mean?
here.
So like I totally get that. And like what's your viewership like now?
My average is the last I checked is 11.6, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
So like like I think a large part of that definitely comes down to definitely like interacting with chat. You know what I mean? I think having that camaraderie, that communication with each other, I think that plays a massive factor into gaining more viewership, especially early on. Um, and trying to help kind of grow your live stream a bit, and just overall just make it a fun, good experience for for everyone there.
oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, when I can pay attention to chat and play the game, that I can actually read it a lot faster. I have better streams, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like Among Us. I think I actually figured out how to do Among Us, with reading chat too, but it affected my Among Us play. So that's kind of why. That's kind of why I stepped away from Among Us for a little bit. I'm probably
Fair.
going to go back eventually.
Okay.
That really comes down to is I think that people make the mistake of like caring more about the game
Sure.
than their chat. That's like a good advice I would give anyone is chat's more important. Like there's games that I lose horrendously because I'm paying attention to chat. Like I think my struggle playing Ocarina of Time, which people loved also, was because I have my eyes half on chat, half on my game all the time, so I make really dumb mistakes.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely attest to that. I
Yeah.
roasted the shit out of you the
Yes.
other day,
Oh
which
yeah.
was,
People loved it. People loved it.
yeah, it was great. I loved it. So I'm curious. So you mentioned like Among Us was definitely like one of those games that you played early on a ton. When was the last time you played Among Us?
Jeez, 2 months ago.
2 months.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the game is like just kind of stale right now? Do you feel like you like it needs that fresh new wave of
Uh,
content?
yes. For that, that's been a problem with them from the jump. I don't understand why they don't put a little bit more out. I mean, all these mods came out and made it exciting, but the mods wouldn't always work. Um, I'm part of a Discord that they still play every single night, and they do tournaments and stuff like that. So I always have the time to play it. There's people to play with. It just I wasn't having as much fun as like I was when I first started playing it.
Sure.
So I decided to take a break, and I actually think I'm going to continue that break longer than I had anticipated.
It's fair. It's fair.
Honestly,
So I mean, I guess that leads me to my next question. So like, what do you think it would take for you to want to get invested back into Among Us again?
that's a really good question. I'm really not sure because a lot of people have asked me to play, and I've kind of turned them down.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I guess the right lobby, or maybe one of the old school lobbies I used to play in,
Sure.
something
Sure.
like that, just for fun.
Yeah. No, I feel that, man. I haven't played Among Us in, man, it has been a hot minute. I'd say, God, almost a year at this point.
Sheesh.
We gotta be close to it.
Yeah.
Um,
So last time you played with us was about a year ago.
yeah. So I mean, it's gotta have, it has to have been that long. I think one of the big things that like they need to kind of work on and like potentially add is like potentially bring in like the ability to make the smaller lobbies more fun. Like I always felt like when I was playing Among Us, I had to have a full lobby of 10 people to actually sit there and truly enjoy the experience. Like
I
make
agree.
it so that way, like when I do a 6-person lobby because I don't have 10 people to play with, make that experience more fun. Whatever that may look like. I don't know. I'm not a video game developer, so
Yeah.
don't ask me. But so
I'm not an
like I,
imposter, but
right, you know what I mean? And like that's yeah, like it's just I don't know, man. I feel like you got to be able to make the experience more enjoyable, across the board rather than just adding a new map and things of that nature. Well,
their biggest problem is they added one really big map, and they
yeah,
probably could have added two smaller maps.
right.
That could have worked, and then they could have worked on the game after that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I definitely don't disagree.
Yeah.
Um so you kind of somewhat touched on it and it kind of leads me to my next question. So one of the things that I love about you and what you've done with your with your community and your environment that you've set up is just one, I mean, how friendly everyone is with one another, but then like some of the steps that you've taken like early on, like you got involved with other small streamers and small content creators who are also trying to grow and potentially make this a career one day. And so like tell me a little about that. Like tell me a little bit about like the community you've built and like your Discord server that you have set up. Like there you got quite a few people in there. So I mean like tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. It's actually like happened like on accident. I met one person, and he introduced me to other people, and they introduced me to people. I'm actually part of like a ton of Discords. All kind of like all we all kind of like support each other in different ways. Um, like my three mods are actually three streamers right now. And I always hang out on their streams too. Like
Sure.
I enjoy watching them stream more than I watch like watching like the bigger streamers.
Sure.
So like even like I people got me in the stream was actually like I liked watching Dakotas and
Yep.
Sykkuno. I don't ever watch them anymore because like I'm busy watching the smaller streamers
Yep.
that I'm part of the community.
I'm curious, not to kind of help you like lose your train of thought at all, but I'm curious. Like, is that because of like you genuinely enjoy their content, or is that more just like from a support standpoint?
I actually genuinely enjoy their content.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. We don't like. I know I can't speak for everyone, but I think most of the people I know, I don't support for support. There are people that come into my stream, and I don't really go to theirs, as much, and vice versa. There's certain people I go into their streams, and they don't come into mine as much.
Sure. So I mean, tell me a little bit about like the Discord server that you personally set up because I mean
Yeah,
it is very detailed and it's very well done.
still
Um,
working on it, but thank you.
it's honestly pretty solid. And again, I mean you got a decent group of people that are in there. So I mean, like tell me a little bit about that.
About the people in it.
Just the server in general. Like you said, you're still
Okay.
working on it. So like, what's some stuff that you're working on, and like
Um,
what made you kind of want to go that route of creating your own Discord and things like that?
well, I was part of as I said, I'm part of a bunch of discords, and I was
Right.
putting a lot of focus into the one that I used to invite you to play Among Us.
Yes.
But I realized that everyone was thinking that was my Discord when it
Okay.
wasn't. So
Okay.
that's kind of like why I decided to make my own Discord,
Okay.
as well as still be part of like those other communities. And a lot of the people that you see from there are part of other communities. Some of them I'm part of their Discord, some of them I'm not. I'm looking at it right now. I want to add a little bit more for for people to promote themselves. I want to make that look a little bit nicer. I want to add a bot that just makes people like when they go live pop up because I like when people promote themselves in my stream. I
Sure.
really like that. And call me crazy. I want to have put more areas for like gaming, so that we could play games together and stuff like that. If I ever got back into Among Us, I'd make an Among Us lobby. I did put a channel there for it, just in case people wanted to play it,
Sure.
because it kind of made me. Um, but yeah, I want my Discord to be a place where people can come chill, hang out, and learn things about my stream, and also just get to know each other.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you definitely have, I like I see it all the time on your stream. Like anytime somebody subs to you, gift subs, whatever the case may be, like you always give like the shout out,
Oh, yeah.
for them, which is a really cool feature, that you do. And it's cool that you take the time, to do that. And I'm actually kind of curious, like, do you do that for mostly like just the people that are like kind of reoccurring subs, like the people that are active streamers, or you just do that for everyone?
I'll shout out everyone. If you're not a streamer, I won't like make a big deal about it. If I know
Sure.
you're not a streamer, if I don't know, I'll typically ask.
Okay.
And then when people ask me if they could talk about their stream in my chat, I go, yeah, talk about it, because I actually think it's weird when people get upset about that. And that's just me. I won't go and do it in somebody's chat because I know how a lot of people feel.
Sure.
But most people part of my community will literally ask people about their stream when they pop in, like, how was your stream earlier and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So most of the people in my communities actually agree.
Yeah, and again, man, like that's another thing I love about your community. It's just literally just how friendly and how open everyone is. Like it is such a cool
Yeah.
positive vibe. And like I'll admit, man, sometimes I feel bad because like I'll pop in and I'm just a dick. Like that's just all I do the entire time I'm there, and and everyone else is just so nice and just so welcoming to one another. And here I am just going, "Fuck you, Greg," and
Hey,
like and that's
you're the one
so.
that found out Siri bot curse is back.
Dude, that was incredible. That was literally one of the best things I've ever
That was
discovered.
amazing. That was amazing.
um, but yeah, again, man, like it's one of the things I love about your community and what you've built there, and again, just how welcoming everyone is. Because I mean, you said it, like a lot of people. And I totally understand why. Like a lot of people, you talk about your stream on someone else's stream, they get upset about it because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, we're all trying to grow, right? Like we all want to try to make something of this. So like obviously, I mean, it's like a TV show. If someone was on this show and somebody from another show came on and talked about that other show, like obviously, that's never gonna ultimately
Yeah.
look good in the end for the show that they're
Yeah.
a guest on or whatever. You know what I mean? So, I definitely get that
Yeah. Me too.
that mindset. But yeah, man, I agree. Like I think we should be more, welcoming of like just, wanting to discuss like streaming as a whole. Because honestly, at the end of the day, like the more and more that we help each other and try to help each other grow, it's just gonna make streaming better as a whole, and it's just
Totally.
gonna continue to allow this whole content creation thing just to grow and just get better and
Oh,
improve,
yeah, absolutely.
as
Yeah,
we
and that's how
progress.
I feel about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Before I continue our conversation and continue this discussion, I do have to interrupt and let everyone know that this channel is also sponsored by Humble Bundle. Humble Bundle is a great website that is more than just a video game website that sells games. Like they also a lot of their sales go to charity. So not only do you get to be lazy buying a video game and kind of feel shitty about that, it allows you to uplift your spirits knowing that your money's going to a good place. Um, what's great about Humble Bundle is that they even offer a subscription that you can sign up for that will give you free games every single month. Um, and a lot of times there are awesome deals. Like I mean, you could even get some absolute classics like Max Payne, for example. I've seen on there. I've seen some old school Battlefields on there. I've seen a lot of racing games on there. They're constantly running sales right now. They got a promotion going on for Black Friday. So be sure to go check it out. There's a link in the description down below. When you click on that link and when you purchase something, you could actually choose how much money goes to the content creator. So you could choose how much of it is going to the website, how much of it's going to the content creator, or how much is even going to charity. And any of the money that you send my way, one, I greatly appreciate, and and love you for it, sucker. And two, and second and most importantly, um, all the money would go to me. It's not like they take a portion of it. So if you truly feel like you want to try to support me in any other way, that's definitely a way to do it. So be sure to check it out. Description and link down below. Thanks. Um, so, Mr. Greg.
Yep.
So you talked a little bit about like how you started playing like single player games and Ocarina of the Time being one of them. I see you play a lot of that style of game. So I'm very curious. Breath of the Wild 2. Your thoughts? How excited are you for it? Like what's like
I'm super excited for it. I just hope they bring back dungeons. That will ruin the game for me if they do not bring back dungeons, probably.
Fair.
But I'll still play it.
It's fair. Do you what's in terms of like how you plan on playing it, like what's your game plan there? Like do you have like the Switch OLED? Do you got like just the regular Switch?
I'm gonna get a Switch OLED.
Okay.
My Switch burns out on me. That's the only reason I'm getting the OLED.
Gotcha.
It doesn't do it all the time. It's if I usually have a fan hitting it.
Okay.
Typically hear that in the background when I'm playing Switch games.
Love it.
But if that's not hitting it, or if I don't have it like correctly there, people have seen it on stream. It burns out. I have to turn it back on.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Hashtag small streamer problems.
Yeah, right.
So
getting the OLED one just makes more sense.
Sure. I mean, what's your thoughts in terms of like what's your expectations? Like, what do you expect to see from the game? What do you hope to see ultimately at the end?
Well, I want them to keep the same feel as Breath of the Wild. I know it's actually not going to be called Breath of the Wild 2. They said they're going to change the name.
Right.
So that's cool. I mean, they already showed that you're going to be able to go back into the sky like Skyward Sword. So that's going to be really cool. It opens up a lot more. Like I said, I really hope that they do the same thing, but with dungeons instead of all the shrines. And the Divine Beasts, they were just way too easy. I guess they could probably keep the aspect where you can go to the final boss right away, because I think that's given people a lot of content, which is really fun. Also, the open world stuff has really made like people be able to do a bunch of stuff with it, like races and all that.
Yeah.
Like I've done what's called bingo with it with other streamers, which has been really fun. I don't know if you've heard of those.
No, actually, I'm curious.
Yeah, there's a website where you can make a bingo board for games, and I did 3 different ones with 3 different streamers with the Breath of the Wild. So basically, you have to finish a line before the other streamer finishes it.
Huh.
And yeah, they were like 3 really great streams.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, we did the multi-link thing, which was really great.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I have a couple more bingo games set up for different games with other streamers too, which should be fun as well.
Right on. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Is there like what is there any like word on like when the release date is going to be for that? I know it's like sometime next year, right?
Yeah, it's sometime next year, probably the holidays next year, I'm assuming. I'm expecting the next direct to be about Breath of the Wild too.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else for them right now.
Yeah. I mean, I played the first one, and I loved it. It was I remember buying a Switch, literally to just buy a Switch, and it was literally like the only game I ever played on Switch. I bought Super Mario Odyssey. I played it for a little bit. Mario Kart, of course. And that was it. Like that was literally just where it ended. And then yeah, that was the end of all of it. But like Breath of the Wild, I did play through it. I beat it. It was a phenomenal game. I mean, the game was just gorgeous, especially on the Switch, which is a very underrated console. I don't think it gives as much, credit that it deserves.
It's been selling pretty well.
Yeah, right. I mean, like it is a very high selling console, but like even just from a performance standpoint and like what you get out of it, like it is a very good console. Unfortunately, I was just never a Nintendo guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, it's again the game itself I loved, so it is one of those things to where I may pick up a Switch again, literally just to get Breath of the Wild 2.
I recommend it. I mean, even the news Mario Party just came out, Superstars, is amazing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I have played a little bit of that, which is fun. Yeah, it
yeah,
is fun, and I've seen all kinds of like YouTube videos and things of that nature.
it's so much better than like the terrible game they came out with 2 years ago, the Mario Party Switch. That was really bad.
Oh my god, yeah, that was
Yeah, I
yikes.
I don't know how you can make a game so bad and then 2 years later make a game so good, but they did it
Yeah,
at least. Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of of things that are bad, why do the Giants suck so bad?
Actually,
Yeah, what's the score right now?
see,
I'm actually curious.
I'm pulling it up right now. Okay, it's not. I'm not. It's not showing yet. It's just
Viewers,
showing.
just a heads up. So we were recording this on a Monday night. The Giants are playing right now,
Yes,
against the Buccaneers, and yeah,
they're losing 10-17. They're
hell
actually,
yeah. I mean, that's not that
actually,
bad.
actually competing.
Yeah, that's not that bad. Um,
It's been rough.
man, dude, Danny Dimes is not the answer. I need that to be known. Like I know
And
he was supposed to be the saving grace a couple of years ago. No, no,
he's
he was
going to
never.
be a solid backup one day.
Yep, yep. He's going to make a great backup for some team at some
Yep.
point in time.
You need
Um,
someone to get you a couple touchdowns on a big game. He can get you.
yeah, exactly. Speaking of sports, did you see the incident between the Lakers and the Pistons last
I
night?
did not.
Oh, dude, you got to look that up. It was like a 15-minute delay that happened. LeBron ended up getting a 1 game suspension. The Pistons player got a 2 game suspension. Yeah, after this is all over, look it up.
Yeah,
It's a
well,
nuts ordeal. It started with free throws. Guy named Isaiah Stewart. He was trying to box out LeBron. They kind of like hooked up a little bit, and not in like that way. I mean, like their arms locked.
wow.
And so like LeBron kind of like just tried to shove him off of him, and when he did, like I mean, he just pretty much like full like backhand swung like UFC
Damn.
style at his face.
Damn.
And I don't think it was intentional. Like when you look at it, I don't truly think it was intentional. I think it was just one of those like get the hell off of me kind of deal.
Yeah.
And like immediately busted him open. Like he had so much blood running down his eye. Like it was
LeBron was
bad.
busted open, or
Not
oh,
LeBron,
the other guy also
the other
LeBron.
guy, yeah,
Oh
Stewart.
wow.
And
So
like
LeBron
he
knocked somebody out.
charged at him, and like it was bad. Like obviously benches cleared and things like that. And even after pulling him away like 3 different times, he kept trying to charge back at LeBron. Um, and it was. I mean I understand getting pissed at that
Yeah.
and having all that frustration, but normally after like a couple minutes you're like okay whatever it's fine I'm gonna walk away. No, this dude kept trying so much so that like they had to carry him back to the locker room.
Wow.
He on his way back to the locker room, he eventually is like, all right, I'm done. But then charges into the tunnels as to try to wrap around the arena and come out the Lakers side. Dude, it was so
He's probably
nuts.
suspended. He's probably suspended for a lot of games.
Suspended for 2 games only.
2 games on 2 games.
Only 2 games.
Probably
And
because he
like I
was busted
said,
open.
and LeBron was suspended for 1.
Even
Um,
LeBron gets suspended. That's rare.
yeah, it was the first time he's ever been suspended.
Yeah.
And that's my other thought too. Like LeBron's not a dirty player by any means. So like when I saw that, and trust me, I'm not a LeBron fan. As much as I'm a Lakers fan, I'm not a
Yeah.
LeBron fan. But you know, he is not a dirty player by any means. So like seeing that again, I think it was just one of those like just hey dude, stop grabbing me, get the
Yeah.
hell off of me kind of deal.
I'll watch the video and I'll let you
And
know.
I mean, he immediately tried apologizing. You could see it. Like he immediately
Okay.
was just like, "My bad, bro."
Yeah,
And
LeBron's not
then
bad, dude.
yeah, Isaiah Stewart was just like, "Nah, not having it."
Not listening. Nope. Not
Yeah,
having it.
yeah. So, but hey, it is what it is. But but so anywho, got a little off topic there. So back to the Nintendo discussion. I'm actually kind of curious on your take on this. So, because again, I know you kind of play those style of games. I know it's something you're very interested in. Um, give me your all time favorite Legend of Zelda.
I think I still gotta stick with Ocarina of Time.
I mean, that's a
Um,
given. That's a classic.
it's such a good game. Breath of the Wild, like, and when people say it's not a great Zelda game, it's a great game. I disagree, but it is a different Zelda game. it's a different experience. It's just an experience I really enjoyed, but I think because of how different it is, I can never let it pass out Ocarina of Time.
Sure.
I also really like Skyward Sword, which I'm going to start. Actually, that's the next Zelda game I'm going to stream.
Okay.
Probably sometime next week. I started streaming when it first came out,
Yep.
but my son got hold of it and deleted the game, and I
Nice.
can't restart a game right after I started
Oh, dude,
something.
that's yeah, it's so heartbreaking when
Yeah,
that happens, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a
I
couple
get it.
months, so I'm ready for it, and I'm also streaming a Nuzlocke for the new Diamond Pokemon Diamond game,
Okay.
Brilliant Diamond.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Uh, yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I think Ocarina of Time, like, I mean, hands
Yeah,
down. I mean, that's a given.
yeah, I
Favorite
agree.
all time favorite Super Mario game.
64 was really good, but I really like 3D World too.
Hmm. Interesting.
That just came
Interesting.
out.
Yeah.
Um, between those two, definitely,
Okay.
because Mario 3D World was like the best of both worlds. Like you like the old
Sure.
school, it's there.
Yep.
You like new style, it's there.
Yep. Yeah.
Very good
Definitely.
hybrid.
Definitely very well designed. For me personally, man, Super Mario Sunshine.
I guess say Sunshine.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
dislike it, but it's not my favorite. I
Oh
was gonna say
man.
Super Mario World. I forgot. I love that game.
Yeah, that fair. Um, yeah, Sunshine. Oh, dude, I remember being a kid having a GameCube. It was really one of the only Nintendo consoles I ever had,
Yep.
aside from the Wii. Because I mean, who didn't have a Wii? But yeah, like I remember playing Sunshine on the GameCube, like at my grandmother's house, and like, dude, I would sit there and just play that game over
It's a good
and
game.
over and over. Like the art style, the just the environment, the world itself, like so much of it was just so good and just so entertaining. So I genuinely genuinely enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I
But
do have that game because of the All Stars.
oh yeah, fair. Yeah, that's a yeah, fair point.
I was playing it a little bit. 'Cause I replayed 64 with All Stars, and I started on Sunshine, but it's definitely not my favorite Mario game.
Okay. Yeah. I dislike you even more now. All right. Um so I meant to ask you this earlier and I looked right over it. So it shows you how good I am at this. Ha dab. All right.
Yeah, just
So
Lucky Slide.
it's actually my second one. All
Oh,
right.
sheesh.
So so I hyped you up a little bit, talked about this, when I introduced you, being, having almost 100 followers on Twitch and having over 100 followers on Twitter. So, I mean, like, how active are you on social media?
Twitter, I try to tweet once a day.
Yeah.
I also retweet a lot of other things. I retweet like the main streamers that I really like watching,
Sure.
and they do the same in return.
Sure.
But yeah, TikTok, I kind of fell off. I have a lot of clips ready to go, and I really want to get into a situation where I'm making 2 clips a day. I also want to put more videos on YouTube. Um, I just need to find the time to edit them,
Yeah. Yeah.
or pay someone to edit them, which
That's, yeah. I feel that. I feel
yeah.
that. Yeah, I mean, I think, right now, I mean, one, I think always trying to, if you're trying to grow your brand and you're trying to grow your stream, I think trying to grow outside of just live streaming, right? Outside of just your whether it be Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, whatever the platform of your choice. I think, I think being active on social media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever may be your choice, I think can definitely play a big factor in terms of what it is that you're trying to accomplish, what it is that you're trying to do,
Yeah, it really
um,
helps.
and then and I think you kind of somewhat touched on it. I mean, I think being active on TikTok, being active on
Hmm.
YouTube, I mean, I think that just grows you even more at
Yeah,
that point, and it plays such a massive role into things, especially right now. I mean, TikTok has so many eyes on it, and TikTok's one of those things, man. Like I will go like I'll go like a week without looking at TikTok, and then literally that one night I'm just laying in bed, and I open up TikTok. I'm like, yeah, let me look at this for like I don't know 10 minutes, and then 4 hours later,
Yeah,
and it's just
I'm on TikTok every night.
yeah, dude, it's so addicting, man. It really
Yeah.
is, and it's one of those things you get hooked, and the more and more you scroll through, the more and more you find some of those smaller clips that
Yep.
just show up just based off the algorithms they have in place that may be appealing to you, and it's such a great way to grow right now.
Yep.
From a content creator lens. I'm personally I'm kind of like you to where like I'm guilty of it too, to where I kind of fell off with TikTok a little bit. I
Yeah.
fell off with streaming as a whole, honestly, but
Yeah.
I fell off a little bit, and I started to post a little bit more consistently, and I want to continue to do so. But between that and like, even from the YouTube side of things, like obviously YouTube videos are definitely another way of growing your brand and growing yourself as a content creator. But like YouTube Shorts, I think is an awesome way to do
Yes.
things, because like if you're already making a TikTok, it's essentially the same exact
The
thing.
same thing.
So you're
Yeah.
just copying and pasting at that point. But like there's so many eyes on YouTube Shorts right now,
Yeah.
and Google/YouTube is dumping so much money into YouTube Shorts to make that grow and continue to just be
Have not
better.
made any yet. I need to get like I have so many clips because people have actually been clipping in my
Yeah.
in my streams, which is awesome.
Right.
So like I don't even have to do it as much myself anymore. But yeah, I really want to like I was thinking of doing like edits in my my Zelda Master mode and putting on my new stuff. I was gonna take way too long, so I think I'm gonna do it with my Nuzlocke. It will be a little bit easier to kind of crop those because I'm not gonna stream those quite as long as I do
Sure.
my Master mode ones.
Sure. Yeah, and like it's one of those things, like especially with like YouTube Shorts. What's really cool, and you mentioned clipping, like what's really cool about like what YouTube is going to be adding, eventually in the future, is they're gonna make it so then that way, like whenever you clip something or somebody in your chat clips something, you
Okay.
could convert it straight over into a YouTube short,
Yeah.
which is such a cool concept. And I think it's a genius way to do things, especially because obviously YouTube is such a major platform for obviously majority of it is just videos rather than live streams
Yeah, and then
and
live
clips.
streams. Yeah.
So like I think being able to integrate that with your live streams and I think it's such a cool concept. But same thing there, man. Like it's another one of those things that's like such a great way to grow right now.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Is putting the time into that, and I'm right there with you when it comes to like actually wanting to sit down, one, either having the time, or two, wanting to spend the time
Yeah.
and or
It's tough.
money to edit a YouTube video. Because like there's so much work that goes into it if you want it to look good. I mean, like
Yeah.
there's have been plenty of times where I've edited a video in less than an hour, like a 20-minute video in less than an hour, and like looking back on it, I'm like, man, these really are not that good. So like and like I've learned so much like during this entire year and a half that I've streamed, and have been a content creator. Like there's so much I've learned in terms of like how much effort you put into things and how much effort
Mhm.
is needed for a lot of this stuff to actually make it look good.
Yeah.
It's such a interesting concept.
It becomes like a second job.
It really is. I genuinely I say that to people all the time. I'm like, I work
Yeah.
2 jobs. I work the
Yeah.
full-time job, and then my part-time job is being a content creator. And
Yeah.
it very much is, because I mean at the end of the day, like especially once you reach affiliate, and if you're lucky enough, to where either you reach affiliate or some sort of monetization level on whatever platform you're on, if you're lucky enough, you get income from it, which is also another just amazing concept to really think about, like you're
Yeah, it's
making
been
money
nice.
from playing video games.
It's been nice. Yes.
It's so cool, man. But so shout out to all the viewers who are kind enough to help us out. But anywho, but yeah, man, it's so cool, and but dude, I get it, man. It is so tough, especially like for like myself. Like I work 40 plus hours a week at a job that is mentally draining
Mhm.
because people suck.
Yeah.
And, and then, to come home, either to come home at like midnight, or to, come home after, 5, 6 o'clock, and then have to get like all my shit done that I got to get done.
Yeah.
And then like to sit there and like even want to have the energy to stream. It's so difficult.
It's tough.
Like in a lot of ways, I compare it to like when people work a full-time job and go to college. Like it is honestly like that similar vibe. Like it's so stressful and so much work. And I applaud people who put the time in and put the effort in better than I do, honestly. Like, because it's rough, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
rough.
like right now for me, I know that I need to start doing better with editing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like when I get home from where I have the kids, and they're up till 8 p.m., so I have to choose to either stream or edit at that point.
Yep.
So like for me now, I was streaming 5 days a week. I'm gonna start streaming 4 days a week, and on that, like the day that was for the fifth day for streaming, I'm gonna edit my videos
Yeah.
at least to make clips. As long as I get some clips out, I'm gonna be happier.
Yep.
And I am really considering. There's one of my good friends. She found, or I think her brother found and gave her a site. A guy that actually does 2 hour clips. Turns them into 20-minute clips for only $10.
Oh wow.
So I might start doing that. The problem is I typically stream over 2 hours.
Hmm.
It's very rare that I only stream for 2 hours. I'm at least going 3 hours now at my streams.
Yeah.
I try to go for 4.
Yeah.
So that would be $20 per video.
Yeah. Dude, that's another thing too.
It
Is like
adds up.
to sit there and like try to, especially like when you work a full-time job, and like you yourself, obviously you
Mhm.
got kids and things like that. So like you're also trying to be a father, and and which, I mean, God bless you there. But but it's one of those things where like it is so difficult. Like, not even just from the editing side of things and like wanting to create clips and YouTube videos, or whatever the case may be, it is so difficult to even just sit there and put the time in for streaming.
Yeah,
Like, to sit
yeah,
there and go for 3, 4, 5 hours. Because obviously, like, you want to have those longer streams, because then it's more potential for something that's worthy of clipping, or something along those lines. And it's, yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. I've certainly been there. For me, it's even tougher because like I play a lot of shooters, so and me being the competitive person that I am, I get very fucking tilted at them.
you want to win. Yeah,
And so when something does not go my way, I become a little baby, and I'm like, "Yep, fuck this, I'm done," and I just shut
you're
the
done.
game off, and that's the end of that. So I've had a lot of streams just go for like 48 minutes because
And then you're
because of
gone.
that. Um,
Yeah,
but
I feel that.
yeah, so like it makes it even tougher. And then that's where I applaud people who are able to stream for 8 hours playing a very rage inducing game sometimes, because God bless you, I don't know how you do it. I
Oh,
used to do it like when I first
yeah,
started streaming, because like during then it was COVID, so everybody was home, and
yeah.
nobody was doing anything. So like I used to be able to do it then. Like I played Warzone for literally 8 hours a day, and I thinking back on it, I don't know how I did it, man. I
Yeah,
really,
I don't like doing
really
Warzone.
don't.
For me, I just for me, like I'm very selective with my games now that I stream.
Yep.
Uh, Other than now that I had a sub wheel, I have about like 11 games I have to play.
Yep.
So chat chose those ones. But
Nice.
yeah, I'm very selective. I want to make sure I play a game that's going to either is going to a challenge me or be fun to watch.
Yep.
That's why I mean Ocarina of Time is not supposed to be as challenging as it was. It's supposed to be more chill. Ended up just whooping my ass. But that's why I'm doing the Nuzlocke, because that's going to be extremely challenging.
Oh.
And already my first one's very rage inducing. So,
sounds like you need to get good, kid.
yep, basically. Well, Nuzlocks are hard. But yeah, but like, and that's like why I'm sticking to Nintendo too, because like, I thought about it, and it's like, what games can I just sit down and play for hours without stopping? That's not like something with friends. Like
Sure.
Fortnite, I used to be able to sit down and play that for hours, even though I'm not the hugest fan. Like Halo, I could probably sit down and play for a few hours.
Yep.
But what can I play alone? And those are the games that came to mind. That's why I really started pushing more Nintendo streams. Because I play Ocarina of Time. I played Ocarina. I did Ocarina of Time for my 12-hour stream. I think I played it for like 7 or 8 hours,
Yep.
and then switched over to Mario Party. So I
Yep.
literally played 2 games for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that's totally fair because like a lot of like Nintendo games, they are a lot of single player stuff.
yeah.
Of course, there's some of the bigger ones
Oh
like
yeah.
Mario Party and Super Smash
Mario Kart.
Bros, things like
Oh,
that,
Smash
Mario
Brothers.
Kart. That'd be really fun actually to do like a Smash Bros tournament
Yeah, Smash
with a
Bros.
bunch of
Yeah,
streamers.
I've done a couple streams with Smash Brothers, like when Sora came out.
Well, yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah,
I would not partake because I'm really bad at Smash Bros, but it is what it is.
I'm decent.
Yeah, I'm dog shit at it. But anywho, um, so Mr. Good Guy GK, Mr. Greg, again, you're someone who's had some small success as a small streamer, and I think it's only going to continue to grow, and I think you're going to continue to have even more success. So, I mean, what is some advice that you would give to anyone who is just starting streaming now in today's world, in today's climate? What's some advice you give?
The first is probably the most important advice. I've seen a lot of streamers like do this and give up. Don't pay attention to the numbers. They're gonna go up. They're gonna go down. Even like you can literally have a stream that's like 20 people and then literally have 3 the next stream. So no matter like how you start, you could if you start and people are there for you and then they start fizzling out, don't get discouraged. Like I said, I know a ton of streamers who like start out. Everyone's excited for them. They're part of the community already, or they're friends with people who like want to watch them. They have like 5, 6, 7 people there for like 3 weeks straight. They become affiliate really quickly. They're all excited, and next thing they know, they have like one person watching them. That's just how it is. So that's like the first bit of advice I'd say to anyone starting the stream. Turn that off. I think like a lot of top streamers says that turn that like viewer number off
Yep.
completely. Just ignore it.
Yep.
Just never look at it. You won't worry about it, and you'll talk more because that's the important. You should be talking while nobody's watching you, so that when people get there, they can talk to you. Nobody wants to pop on a stream and you just be staring at the screen.
Yep. Yep.
So that's a
100%.
big advice. What else that I wish I would have known? Oh, accepting raids. If you are lucky enough to get raided, accept that a lot. Accept that. I know when I first started streaming, I was not very good at it. I would either miss it completely and not realize it for like 5 minutes, or B, just kind of be like, oh, thanks for the raid, and then continue playing the game. Now I literally stop whatever I'm doing. I go into full screen, say thank you to them, welcome everybody in, let them know
I've noticed that.
Let them know who I am. Because a raid is a really big thing for everyone. It's important for who's getting raided. It's important for who raided. It's important for both communities because maybe they'll all just get along. Oh, also, huge thing, raid. Always raid. Like, always raid out. Because the raid's not just for the person you're raiding, it's for you to introduce yourself to their community as well. It's a very important thing. So even if you're raiding with 2 people, just do it. I guarantee you the streamer will be grateful.
That's really good advice, actually. I like that.
It doesn't matter. I've seen it. I've seen people like say like, "Oh, I guess I'm not going to raid off to only 3 people." I'm like, no, let's raid off, and I show them like a streamer, like raid off to them. They'll love it. They'll be excited. Like if I get raided by someone who has 2 people watching, I do the same thing, full screen, just the same exact thing. I think that's 2 new potential friends.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
Also, like something that surprised me, because I didn't think about this too. Be open to making new friends, and not just like have people just follow you, and be willing to invite them to your Discord and actually play games with them, be friends with them. When we get bigger, it's probably gonna be harder to do, but right at this point, it's good to make more friends.
Yep.
That's actually like what I say when we're gonna raid off. I usually say, hey, let's go make new friends.
I like that.
That's another thing too, because I raid into the community most of the time, but once a week I make sure I raid someone that I don't know. So I go and search the game I'm playing and raid that person. It's been a pretty successful for me recently too. I have a lot of people that pop in that's not part of my communities at all, that literally I raid and they come to see me now.
Yeah. No, I mean I think ultimately I agree with all that, really.
Yeah.
I think definitely the viewership thing, right? I feel like every big streamer says that, and every streaming quote unquote streaming coach, will say that as well. Like and it's really tough to try to ignore the numbers because the numbers
Yeah.
truly do mean success for you,
Yep.
and it truly is a measurement of that. Especially like from a YouTube side of things, because YouTube it breaks it down so much more than Twitch
Really.
does. Yeah, not only just like with streaming, but like even with your VODs and obviously the video side of things, the shorts. Like YouTube has so many analytics, um, and it's kind of crazy, and it could really, man, it could really either motivate you or just break you
Or yeah,
down.
bring you down.
Um,
Yeah.
and so but so I 100% agree, like I think ignoring that count, because you're absolutely right, like you don't want to sit there, see that
Mhm.
that you have nobody watching, you got one viewer, and just end up being quiet and just
Yep.
having dead
Yeah,
air at that point,
yeah,
because
it's what happens.
yeah,
It's happened to me. Like another thing, like too, is I always even treat like every one of my streams, um, like there's people there right off the bat.
yeah,
And then not to flex too much. Usually, I have at least like 2 or 3 people there before I even start up. Oh, that's another thing. Do a startup screen. Like definitely have a startup screen. Let it run for about like 3 to 4 minutes. Even if you're just starting up, let people come in. Um, even if like there's like one person there and they're not chatting, like I still open it up saying like, "Hey guys, welcome in," and I'll do a full on opening. Because one, if you see your numbers there, which again, there's a reason I kind of ignore it, and sometimes in the beginning I'll take a look, but it doesn't populate as fast, so you might have 5 or 6 people there and you don't even realize it at that particular point.
yeah,
But yeah, still open the streams the same way. Don't like act like there's people there.
yeah,
And then when people show up, they'll see that and they'll just be like, "Oh, cool," and they'll be more open to talk.
yeah,
Because if somebody's gonna come watch you right now, they know that they're coming into a stream with not a lot of people. They want to talk to you.
right,
Like nobody's gonna come in there and be like, "Oh, I just want to watch this guy." No, they're gonna want to talk to you. So be
100%.
ready for that. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, especially as a small streamer, like
yeah,
obviously nobody knows who you are really. So
yep,
there's definitely a reason why they clicked on you.
yep,
For whatever that reason may be. So obviously the big focus is you want to try to retain them. And as you mentioned, like, acknowledging chat and interacting with them a lot, obviously is gonna keep them
yep.
engaged, and it's gonna want them to want to keep coming back and viewing your stuff. 100%. 100%. Um yeah, I mean, I agree, like, wholeheartedly with pretty much everything you said. You know what I mean? I think, one of the things that, I do think, you didn't touch on, which, I kinda wish you did, because it's one of the things that, like, when over the course of the past, I mean, what's it been? Roughly little over a year that you've streamed. Um, over the course of that time, one of the things that I love about seeing what you've done and what you're doing, is your consistency with your streams. Like
Ah,
you
yeah,
stream so much for someone who again is a father, who obviously works a job outside of streaming, and being a content creator. Like you are so consistent with how often you go live, how often you're just interacting with chat, how often you're there, how often you're making a presence. And you even said it yourself, like with Twitter, even like you're trying to
yep,
consistently
yep,
post every day, and like and that I think is one of the toughest parts about trying to become a successful content creator is consistency. Having the drive, the motivation to to put that time in, because at the end of the day this is obviously a dream job, right?
yeah. Oh yeah,
it is definitely one of those things to where
preach.
it doesn't come easy, and we all want to do it, um but you got to be willing to put the time in, you got to put
Yeah,
the effort in, and I mean I'll be the first person to say for myself, like, there's definitely times where I do not want to put the time in because
yeah,
I'm just burnt out for whatever reason, but you got to be able to push through that, and you are someone who 100% does that.
yep,
So I genuinely applaud you for that, because like I mean that is awesome to see, not only as a fellow content creator, but even just, obviously as your friend,
yep.
to see that, man, it's so cool. And it's one of the things, like we were actually, believe it or not, we were in my Discord, we were talking about you the other night, and this was one of the things that came up in conversation, was literally just how often you stream, how often you are live on Twitch, ready to go, interacting with your chat, showing love and support. Like it's just again, it's so cool to see it, man. Genuinely, just really, really cool to see it.
Actually funny. Like, I haven't streamed since Friday night, and I'm actually not streaming till Friday.
Yeah.
Accidental week off. It happens.
I
I
mean, whatever,
literally,
man. It's Thanksgiving week, like, and
yeah,
like that's another thing I want to mention too. Not to cut you off.
yeah,
I do think it's very important for you to take time off of work,
yes,
whatever your line of
yeah.
work is. Like, we all need
Mhm.
a break every once in a while.
Yeah, it was accidental because I was gonna stream. I was thinking about streaming. I actually decided not to stream because of the Giants game. Every day has a reason. Saturday, I decided to go actually have a social life and, and go out, so I canceled that stream. Sunday, I overslept. Tonight, Giants game, and you know, decided to do this instead, which was awesome. I'm so glad I did. Um, Tuesday night, I was streaming Tuesday nights. I'm kind of stepping away from that because someone that I mod streams Tuesday nights, and I just like to be there for her stream. Um, and then she gets off at 10, and I'm usually just not in the mood to stream anymore.
Yeah, fair.
Wednesday, I usually stream during the day when my kids are in school. I have to take Connor to like a doctor's appointment at 10:30, so I can't stream that day. I was gonna stream Thanksgiving morning, but I'm actually working, so
Nice.
Friday night it is.
Nice. That's another thing too. I that just like came to mind that I think is a good piece of advice. A lot of times, like people will who are content creators, even just small content creators, um, they'll play games on the regular. Like for the amount of time that I took off from streaming, like because I took off like about a solid month and a half
Yeah.
from streaming, but I was still playing games during that entire time period. Just boot up the stream. Like
Yeah.
what is the worst that can happen? Like there are so many times that I have heard stories of like all those streamers who are big and are grandfathered into, to the streaming business. The guys like Ninja and Tim the Tatman and Lupo, and the list just goes on and on and on. When you hear them talk about like their early days of streaming, they would get home from work and they would just turn on the stream. You know what I mean? Like they knew they were going to be playing video games, so just turn it on. Let's go. You know what I mean? And I personally need to get better at that because there are plenty of times to where, it'll be like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, man, I really don't have the energy to stream right now. But yet I'm sitting there playing a video game until freaking 1 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. For me, I've definitely sacrificed a lot of like non-stream playing for streaming. A lot of like the friends that was used to playing with me miss me. And like, yeah, like literally, I'm trying not to let this completely happen, but a lot of times I feel like if I'm not streaming, I'm not gaming. So I'm trying to fix that a little bit because I don't want that to be the case.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it really does seem that way. Sometimes, other than when I'm playing in other people's streams,
Yeah.
like I've been playing Mario Party in other people's streams,
Yeah.
which is also another great idea. Like play with other streamers.
Yeah.
Like even if you're not streaming, they will shout you out.
100%.
While you're doing that. I was just playing in one Mario Party with a couple friends, and one person was streaming, and she just continually shout us out. I actually got 3 follows.
Hey,
I wasn't even streaming.
that's
That's
cool.
like that's like a huge thing. Even this big in people's chats. I think Shroud says it a lot. Like your first like 20 viewers are probably going to end up being like friends or fellow streamers. Like once you hit that number, that's when you start dragging in people who are like just kind of just trying to watch you. Because that's when you start getting really featured in more like the areas in Twitch.
Yep.
Or like in YouTube in your case. Well, I don't know what you're
Yeah, a bit of both. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. But like I think it was Shroud that said that. And I think a lot of other streamers say that too. Like you're like the first like 20 is always going to be friends.
Yep.
Or people that you make friends. Like you're going to become friends with them based off your stream because of how much you can talk to them. Then, unfortunately sooner or later it kind of gets hard to be friends with everyone. And if you grow.
Yep.
Which I also think is so interesting. The way you become a big streamer, you kind of have to fall back off that.
Yep.
Like after a while.
Yeah, like it's one of those things. Like you look at like a lot of the big streamers who are averaging thousands upon thousands of viewers. I mean, even some who are just averaging hundreds. A lot of them don't play with like the people that like they're normally playing video games with growing up, or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be. Yeah, it is very interesting how that all works out.
It's very hard. Like my group of friends. I mean, you know, at
Of
least one of
course,
them.
right?
They just wouldn't follow like the rules that I wanted, like
Yep.
for my stream.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they
I
would,
get it. I've been there.
yeah. So that's basically why they're just not part of my streams.
Right.
It's a rough thing because like I kind of took like how bad my mouth can be
Yep.
just based off working with me.
Yep.
I've really tried to take a step back at least when I'm streaming and kind of tone down the language
Oh,
a little bit.
I think you have to.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm definitely by no means a PG-13 streamer. Not even close to it. I still have the you must be 18 to enter here because I do drop a lot of curses, especially
Yeah.
when I get angry.
Yep.
But I looked at like VOS from when I first started. I was really bad with it. I
Yep.
think that's helped me a lot too, especially if I'm playing Nintendo games. Kids are going to be watching me.
Right. 100%.
So I got to
100%.
keep that in mind. It's not like if like I was more of a duty player, I probably wouldn't care
Right.
nearly as much.
Right.
But I'm not. So
Yep. Yeah. No, 100%.
I also play Fall Guys and games like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean that's another good point too, is that like you look at like you look at gaming as a whole, it obviously consists of mostly kids. I mean,
Yes.
that's really what it is.
Yeah.
As you get older, you tend to kind of grow out of gaming, whether it be
Unless you're
due
us.
to unless you're us. That is true. Dab dab. But it's yeah, I mean, you tend to grow out of gaming mostly because of the fact that like you start to have more responsibilities, obviously, as you get
Yeah,
older.
absolutely.
Between a family and things of that nature. So, it's one of those things to where you just don't have the time for gaming.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
hear that so much from people. And yeah, I mean, again, you do tend to kind of fall out of it a little bit. And so obviously it is mostly kids and teenagers who are gaming. So you're 100% right. Like you look at most of the people that I think are our viewers on Twitch, a lot of them are kids.
Yep.
So you're right. Like, obviously you don't want some kids coming in, and you don't want to be dropping some inappropriate language or
Exactly.
having inappropriate conversations.
Exactly.
And then you got a lawsuit on your hands, for whatever reason.
I don't think you have to worry about that. As long as you
No,
put that
no,
18,
no, no.
as long as you put that 18 thing there. I mean, there's certain words. Obviously, there's banned words on Twitch.
Yeah, like simp and incel and virgin. That's yeah.
So how we use shrimp. Word
Yeah,
shrimp.
right. Shrimp and Virgin Mobile.
I don't understand the virgin thing.
Yeah,
But,
I either. I don't even understand the simp thing or incel. I don't understand any of it, to be honest with you. I just
we're
don't
doing
get
this
it.
on YouTube, so we could say them all.
That's right. Fucking virgins.
Oh,
Anyway.
sheesh.
Oh shit. Yeah, I went there. All right. Well, Greg, man, dude, it has been a blast doing this. I've loved it.
Yes.
And I want to every podcast that I'm doing, like I want to end it out the same way. I want to ask you, man, who are some of your favorite streamers? You already mentioned a couple of them, but like, who are some of your favorite streamers? And why?
I honestly, you might be surprised by this, but I'm probably going to name more like smaller streamers than bigger streamers.
Hey, throw it at me.
To be honest with you, one of my favorite streamers I hang out with is became a great friend of me, Wannabe NPC.
Yep.
Definitely recommend checking her out. She's kind of like I got a lot of ideas from her. Kind of like the toning down the cursing had a lot to do with her streams. And what she did. She's very. She considers herself a cozy streamer. Very late, really chill time. She has like a lot of great redemptions for points, which is something I swear to point out that you need to do is have good point redemptions. Hers are like amazing. So like she'll like end up spending an hour doing all those without even playing the game. It's always just like a fun time.
Gotcha. You're talking about like the channel points on Twitch, right?
Yeah, channel points. Yeah, and she actually just introduced me this new thing called string loots, which is actually really cool.
Okay.
Where you could actually people can actually like it's a way that like you can actually spend money to like have like us do crazy things.
Okay.
Like talk about crazy things.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll share that with you.
Okay. Yeah.
Another there's Mr. Clamps. It's Mr. _Clamps. He's another very high end like strong Nintendo streamer like me. Plays a lot of Zelda, plays a lot of Mario. He is really, really fun. Really great to be in streams. I've learned like a lot from him as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, he is really fun to be around as well. Another now this person, his name is Cashflow. He's actually who I've like learned a lot from, like with the like accepting raids and just thanking people for things. He's been really, really great. I'm getting to know like about him with his stuff. Another person I would really recommend. Top streamers though, like I said, I do like Saikuna. I do like Dakota's. I don't really watch any others, believe it or not. Tim the Tat. I know you're a big fan of Tim the Tat.
Yeah.
Man. I like him
Yeah.
also. And
I haven't always been a big Tim
yeah,
fan. That was more so like pretty much like once the whole doc thing happened on Twitch, I was like, all right, well, who am I gonna go watch now? And I was like, yeah, let me go check out Tim. And obviously like I knew who Tim was, and like I had watched him, or not watched him, but like I had followed him a little bit just from doc streams, because obviously the two of them playing together and stuff, and they always had decent banter. And you know, again, like Tim was just always kind of like that funny guy. You'd see clips and all that fun stuff, but you know, for me, like what really made me a really big Tim the Tatman fan was the whole Fall Guys saga with him. Like that is one of the greatest
so bad
pieces
at it.
of gaming content in
So bad.
history. Like, oh my god, was that great?
He's so bad at that game.
It was so great to
My
watch.
8-year-old son can win games. Like, yeah, that was yeah.
Oh, dude, I wish he streamed on YouTube at that time, because I would love to go back and watch those VODs.
Yeah, they were really
And
great.
now you can, because unfortunately, you know, Twitch only keeps them for so long.
Yeah.
Which is another benefit to YouTube gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Anywho,
I'm actually not against YouTube gaming at all. It's something that I've thought about doing, but I've built it quite the following in Twitch. I'm gonna stick with
Sure.
Twitch for now.
Sure. No, I think as you should. But yeah, man, like that era was just, oh man, it was one of those things that we didn't know we needed until it
was
happened.
great.
And
Yeah,
it was
good.
just awesome.
I was actually watching him live when he got his first win, and they like handed
Same.
it to him.
Yeah,
They handed it to him.
I don't think they handed it to him.
They cleared out the whole.
I don't
bottom
think
row. All he
they
had to do was
handed it to him. Like, yeah, sure, Nade just kept going down and down. He's like,
Yeah.
literally, you'd hear him repeatedly go, all right, I'm stepping off this one, you know, whatever.
Yep.
But I don't think they handed it to him.
They strip hand. He earned it slightly.
Yeah.
It definitely happened.
I mean, they helped, but yeah, again, yeah. Dude, oh man, that saga was just, it was so
That was
good.
good times.
It was so good. Yeah, that was what made me a Tim fan. Then, you know, I started watching him consistently. But
Another
yeah, go ahead.
another good streamer that I'd recommend to anyone starting out that wants to be a part of a good community. Mike F plays.
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually, out of like all my communities, I think that he's probably, like, there's people who have higher number count than him, but I actually think he's the closest to partner. Just because of how the way that he kind of just how he runs his stream.
Gotcha.
It's just so good. I found him about like 3-4 months ago. I just started hanging out there about 3 weeks ago to a month, and he's already rated me twice.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, he rated me twice, and like every time I'm in his chat, he's always real happy. I actually have him lurking right now. So like, yeah, he's another one I would feel really bad to not shout out.
Fair enough. Okay.
All these, yeah, a lot of great small streamers out there. That's like another thing I'd recommend too, is like hang out at small streamer streams. You can't like completely follow the advice of top streamers right now. I feel
no, I agree.
What they do.
Yeah.
It's good to take out like a look at a small streamer who's actually doing pretty well.
Yep.
And like most of the streamers I know, and me, like, I love if someone takes my idea. Like if someone sees something on my stream and goes, "That's a cool idea," I love going to somebody else's stream and seeing this and them saying, "Hey, oh, I got this off you. I hope you don't mind." I go, "Of course I don't mind. That's awesome."
No, I think honestly, I think that's another really big piece of advice to give too. Is that, and a lot of content creators will say it, to where like there's nothing wrong with taking someone else's idea and doing it. Like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep, absolutely.
Especially if you can find a way to innovate it and make
Mhm.
it better, like by all means do it. Because I mean, people do that literally all the time.
Yeah,
There's nothing. It's not like it's
yeah,
anything new. You see it in pop culture all the time. And,
yeah,
it is definitely a common thing.
yeah.
You even see it with Streamlabs, because that's a thing apparently.
I really don't feel like I really
Yeah,
don't feel like changing everything.
I know that's how I feel too.
I pay for a year of Prime.
Yeah, man. I'm like, I like Streamlabs. I like the
I think
way
I'm gonna
everything
stick with it.
works.
I think I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
stick
am
with it.
too. I'm just kind of hoping
This,
everything blows over. That's kind of where I'm at
yeah.
with it.
I,
But
I actually, at this point, I don't even care if it blows over or not. I'm sticking with them.
yeah, I feel that. But but yeah, yeah. No, I think being able to see what I mean, there's a lot of things that like I'll see streamers do, and I'm like, man, that's an awesome thing to do. Like, let me also do that.
Mhm.
Um, and again, if you could twist it and make it your own thing and make it even better, I think that just makes it just makes
Yeah,
you grow even more at that point. Because again, it just kind of brings in more eyes and like obviously it's tough to imitate some things, and that's why I think
yeah,
you made a good point to where like don't try to imitate the top streamers, try to
yeah.
imitate some of the smaller streamers that like
Mhm.
you see and they have a really good idea and like, oh shit, like let me actually do that.
Yeah, it's even
I
worth
agree.
pointing out that, like, sub goals is another thing that I recommend
Yeah,
anyone doing for their big streams. No streamer that I see that has like 400 or 500 people watching them do those anymore.
yeah,
That's a growing streamer kind of thing.
yeah,
Um, I mean, I actually like my birthday stream was my most successful stream. I made 12 hours with the sub goals.
yeah.
Yeah, like I hit all my goals. Like, so if you do sub goals, I recommend making the last one very juicy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean that's one of those things like give them a
Yeah,
reason other than, not having ads and them just
yeah.
supporting you, like give them a reason why they should be spending their money on you.
The first thing you should spend money on too, and I went way too long without doing this is emotes.
Yep.
Find a good creator, let them make you emotes. I mean,
I gotta get some better emotes. Or you don't even have to find a good creator. Go to own3d.tv. The description is down below. You're able to create your own emotes on there. Plug the fucking sponsors, Greg. What are we
I
doing,
love it.
man?
I love it. Yeah, do that.
Oh God, man.
I do know some great creators though, so you guys can hit me up too.
Oh shit.
But yeah, I had like someone a part of my community just make me all my emotes.
Oh.
Yeah, um, yeah,
I do like your emotes. They're like they really like suit like your vibe. You know what I mean? Like that they're very
so,
friendly, like teddy bear kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That lovey dovey kind of
Thank
deal.
you. That's what I was going for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
it's funny. It was down between like it's in between three different people, and like the other two are like more known. Uh, one of the girls is like makes like emotes for like a ton of people in the community. I love all their emotes. Like she was like right there on the top, and one of them was my friend NPC. She gave me her link to who she uses, and then one was just like a buddy of mine. Who's like he's part of the communities, and he streams a little, and he does a lot of emotes. But he just kind of started, so he's like, I never did cartoon versions of anyone. I was like, well, send them to me. I'll let you know. And he's like, don't feel obligated to pick me. And I was like, okay. I was like, no. I was like, you're up against some tough competition, so send me them. I'm gonna give everyone a chance. And he sends
So
me, and I'm just like, dude, that is exactly what I want. Like, make them.
that's awesome.
Like,
That's awesome.
literally, like I was like, I can't believe how much I love these, and I was like, it just suits me so well.
No, yeah,
So yeah,
that's
it
pretty
was
cool.
just such an easy decision for me to make.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, Greg, man, this was a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah, so
This
fun.
was really good. Again, I mean, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you taking the time out of the the Giants game. So
I'm
you
sure
know,
they're losing. Cool.
yeah, probably.
Okay,
So again, man, like I genuinely appreciate you coming on.
I
Um,
appreciate you having me.
yeah, man, this was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. Literally, when I came up with the idea of doing this podcast, I'm like, dude, the first guest I have to have on here is Greg. Like, I
Heck
have to
yeah.
have him on here.
Heck yeah.
Because again, man, I think what you've done, over this short time of streaming. Like I feel like you've honestly accomplished like quite a bit, like
Well, thank you. I
for a
appreciate
small
that.
streamer.
Yeah, I
And
appreciate
I
it.
think you're only going to continue to grow and get better. And
I'll say
I'm
it.
I'm a little upset that you didn't mention me as one of your favorite streamers, but that's okay. That's okay. Um,
You're on in the podcast. Of course, we're gonna watch you. Adding
I'll
into it, 97 is the best streamer.
I'll remember that the next time I have you on here. But we'll figure it out. But but again, man, I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate you being here. It was awesome having you, and absolutely, best of luck to you. And
Same to you.
and everything for you, guys. If you want to check him out, his description, or sorry, the link to his channel will be in the description below. Check him out. Good Guy GK streams on Twitch. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him on TikTok. Sub to his YouTube channel.
More on that, but yes.
Yeah. Start working on that. But go ahead and sub anyways. But guys, that's gonna do it. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to the sponsors. Thanks again for supporting the channel. Once again, this is gonna be a weekly thing that we do, so be on the lookout for it. Check out the live streams. Like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this stuff. And as always, stay safe out there. Be kind to one another. Love one another. Peace out. Adios. And take care.